Welcome everyone. To week 9, and it's week 9. Okay, I've been fucking up on the intro with what week it is, but yeah. Welcome to week 9, guys. This is your commissioner speaking, and holy shit, a lot of stuff happened last week. In the NFL, if someone had gone into a coma, right, or just didn't went on vacation for a week and came back to the NFL today and hadn't heard any news, they would be like, what in the fuck is going on? Derrick Henry's done. OBJ is going to be out of Cleveland. Adrian Peterson's getting basically a start. Fucking Henry Ruggs killed some people. You got another Raider player waving guns around, about to get put in jail as well. And that's just the few things that I can remember off the top of my head. There's so much shit going on. But in the league, a lot of shit happened as well. A lot of close games last week. The Trolls beat the Heaters by 2 points. The Finesse eked out a win against the Dumpster Fire by only 7. And even the Rune Dogs barely beat the Titans Elite by 4 in a 80-76 battle. And a lot of close games. Not really any blowouts, I guess you would say. The biggest one was maybe by about 30 points, which is not too bad in this league. Looking at the standings here, I have added the playoff tracker. As you can see, the little asterisk for the playoffs. No one has been eliminated from playoff contention yet. The Wise Guys and the Quailmen are still in it. If the Wise Guys, again, if they can win every single game, they'll be 7-7. There's 6 weeks left on the regular season, right? I think so. And 6 weeks, including this one. So the Wise Guys could finish 7-7. They could, and make the playoffs somehow. But if you got a little green dot next to you, you are in the playoffs if the regular season ended today. The Finesse, Titans Elite, and the Voyagers from the West, the Trolls from the Central, and the Smeagol's and Rune Dogs from the East. Now, the way the playoffs work this year is that if you win your division, you're in the playoffs, regardless. Okay? So right now, the Finesse, Trolls, and Smeagol's are automatic ins, regardless of the record or points scored or whatever. If you're at the top of your division, you're in. But only the top 2 best teams, either by record-wise, and then if there are 2 teams tied with the same amount of points, then points scored would be the tiebreaker there. The top 2 teams get the first round bye. So one division winner will not get a bye. So we'll see who that'll be at the end of the season. But yeah, as of now, these are the standings. Finesse sitting at 7-1. Wise Guys 1-7. As normal, the West is very top heavy. The Central is starting to separate a little bit, and the East is still pretty tight. Only 2 games separate top and bottom, and the Dumpster Fire aren't out of it yet. But we'll get into that a little bit later. On to the power rankings. Power rankings coming in at number 12. Still number 12. Can't bring them up. You got the Washington Wise Guys. We thought they'd get the win. We thought they'd finally pull one out. Maybe get 2 wins in a row against the Tiger Sharks and, rivalry game of the week. But they came up short about 16 points. Put up 121. Not bad, but it's just not their year so far. But again, they're not out of it yet. They can still make the playoffs. They can still make some moves. Trade deadline has been moved back by 1 week since there's an extra game. So trade deadline is week 11 now, guys. We still have 2 more weeks for trades. And maybe even next year, we may vote on it to push that back even farther and maybe add an IR spot and shit. But that's off-season talk. Coming in at number 11, you got the Wisconsin Bunny Bangers. They have scored the least amount of points in the league. They can barely break 100 some days, it looks like. And again, like we've been saying, they're either going to put up a shitload or under 100. And they've only put up 834 points through 8 games. So that's just barely over 100 per game. And you know, they still have 3 wins. So I mean, they're still right in the Central, but least points scored, not looking good. Coming in at number 10, back down to 10. Well, you got the Quailmen, of course. Dan took a loss last week. He's down to 2-6 now. He's had the most points scored against him in the league, and he hasn't broken 1,000 points on the season yet. He should do that this week. But yeah, it's not a terrible team. Just young, inexperienced, letting up a lot of points. But this team will be really good in the future, we think. Coming in at number 9, dropping down a few spots. Let me get my power ranking little sheet up. Hold on a second. Yeah, dropping down a few spots. You got the Columbia Dumpster Fire. CMC's supposed to be coming back, so maybe they can start getting some wins. Again, they're only 2 games back in the East, in a very tough East. So we'll see what they can do. Maybe they can start making a run. They got the Titans Elite this week, and as we all know, they are basically on bye, so it's almost a free win for the Dumpster Fire, so they better not fucking blow it. Because if they give Joe a win on his bye week, basically, it's not going to look good. That'll basically put a lot of people out of playoff contention if someone like that can just get an easy win. And that's just one more spot that's taken up in the playoffs. Coming in at number 8, you got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Moving up a couple spots from last week. This team keeps on going up and down between the bottom 6. You know, they got a win last week against the Wise Guys, but you got to do more than that to get in the top 6 here. Dropping way down from out of the top 3, top 2 even. You got the Long Island Room Dogs at number 7. Why do I have them 7? Derrick Henry is fucking gone, basically for the rest of the fantasy season. He may come back for the NFL playoffs, but that doesn't matter for us here. So he's out, and then she's got Chuba Hubbard, just like Graydon said in his prediction video. She's got Chuba Hubbard, who may not be starting anymore, and Saquon's not healthy yet. I guess he's back on COVID or some shit. So she doesn't have any fucking running backs, and she didn't make a move to get any, it looks like, and it's not looking good for the Room Dogs now. That was a devastating injury to her team, probably the only one that she could not have, and it happened to, well, happen. So Room Dogs are down here, but maybe, you know, maybe they can pull like a trade or something. They do have a lot of valuable assets. Maybe they can stay in this race, but we'll see. Coming in at number 6, you got the Trentham Trolls. Coming off of I think a win last week, right? Did they win? Hell, I got to start remembering this stuff, guys. Where the fuck are my predictions? Did the Trolls win? Yes, they did. They won. They beat the Heaters last week in a big game. Moving up a few spots. So big time for the Trolls to keep control of the Central. Just like I said last week, that game was big. Who can keep control? The Trolls kept control, and the Heaters are now not the top dogs in the East. Coming in at number 5, the aforementioned Hickory Grove Heaters. They've been on a little losing streak here lately. Kind of just like Nate said. Nate kind of predicted it a few weeks ago when he did his prediction video. He thought the Heaters would start to falter after that hot 3-0 start. They're now 1-4 after that. So the Heaters are only 4-4. You know, but they still have a lot of manpower. We'll see if Kyler Murray can go, because without Kyler Murray, this team's going to suffer a little bit as well. Coming in at number 4, got the Vietnam Voyagers. Scored the most points in the league. Got a few guys injured, a lot of guys questionable. Picked up Adrian Peterson this week. I'm putting him in the lineup. See how he does, because I don't trust Nuke to play. Coming in at number 3, dropping down just one spot, you got the SC Titans Elite. They're probably going to lose this week because they're basically on bye, but it is the Dumpster Fire. So you never know. And coming in at number 2, moving up a spot, you got the Philadelphia Smeagol's taking control of the East. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. I mean, they now control their own destiny in the East. They are still tied with the Room Dogs in record, but they have scored 20 more points than the Roondogs, and they've allowed 74 more points than the Roondogs. So that just shows how good this team is. They've only got a plus minus of about 23 points on the season, and they're 5-3. So a lot of tough losses for this team. It looks like they're probably should head to the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. Staying at number 1, 7-1. LA Finesse, of course. Who else would it be? But they have a tough matchup this week with the Roondogs. Well, it would have been tough had Henry not gone out. Anyways, let's get on to the matchups. Matchup number 1, or AKA the worst game of the week according to our predictions master Graydon. On paper, 7-1 versus 5-3, you think maybe this should be game of the week. But with the Roondogs injuries, and it's looking like she may have 2 backups or no players at all playing at running back, it looks like this should be the beatdown of the week, blowout of the week, if you might say, for the Finesse. Worst matchup of the week. Matchup number 2. We got the 2-6 French Quarter Quailmen flying out to Washington to play the 1-7 Wise Guys. Now, everyone thought this would be the worst matchup of the week, right? But, you know, game of the weeks, it's not really based on record all the time. It could just be based on points. How close are these teams? And at 2-6 and 1-7, they're a combined 3-13. They're pretty evenly matched. This is loser of this gets the toilet. Basically, loser of this is probably done for the season. Wise Guys for sure. Quailmen still be in it if they lose. Washington, again, from here on out, playoffs for the Wise Guys. If they lose, they're fucking done. I don't think they can come back from 8 losses. Matchup number 3. We got the Columbia Dumpster Fire at 3-5, flying out to play the Titans Elite on bye at 6-2. A lot of you may notice that the Columbia Dumpster Fire color has changed. Well, head coach Hunter Spivey has denoted that his team colors are of the Houston Oilers type, or the comebacks, as you would say. You got that light blue and some red in there, and I didn't want to have 2 white on white looking, matchups here. So I'm going to leave up the light blue. Hunter, let me know what you think about it, but I like it. I'm going to leave it up, but we'll see who comes out. It should be the Dumpster Fire with the Titans Elite basically on bye, but again, with Joe, you never know. Matchup number 4. Got the Hickory Grove Heaters at 4-4, playing the Wisconsin Bunny Bangers at 3-5. Match up the green teams. We'll see what's going to happen here. Nate Call, Heaters, the team that was on the, not the rise, what's the opposite of rise? On the downfall, I guess. And he was right about that. But the Bangers also have their own problems. They can't fucking score over 100. The Heaters can usually do that. So it's looking like the Heaters probably should win this game. But again, if the Bunny Bangers come out and bang some bunnies, you never know. Let's get on to the rivalry game of the week. You got the 4-4 Vietnam Voyagers flying out to play the also 4-4 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Bad blood here, going all the way back to the 5-5-3 here. Rico, Germ, it's going to be a big matchup because if Tampa Bay can win, they may take control of the Central. If the Voyagers can win, they will not take control of the West, but they can stay in that playoff hunt. As of now, I see myself vying for a wild card spot unless the Finesse and the Titans Elite just have a collapse at the end of the season. Since I've got the most points scored on the year, as long as I can keep my record up and I can just sneak into the playoffs, I think I'll have a chance. But Tiger Sharks aren't out of it yet. Rivalry game of the week. Can't wait. On to the game of the week. You got the 5-3 Philadelphia Smeagol's flying on down to Trenton to play the 4-4 Trolls. This is a little bit of a rivalry as well. 2 homegrown guys coming at it. Old school rivalry here. If you were in the league a few years ago, you know. Old school rivalry. This is going to get down and dirty, nasty. Trolls, Smeagol's. I mean, what if Smeagol met a troll, what would happen? I guess we'll find out. Let's get on to the predictions made by the troll himself, head coach, Graydon Olive. I don't know your middle name. Graydon Olive made the picks. Thank you, Graydon, for the picks under the layer this week, under the bridge, wherever it was. But we have some news, some J news. P-Man last week went 4-2. First person to go 4-2. And just like we know, that is a that's a new record, guys. 4-2 brings our overall up to 21-27 for a 44% win percentage, I guess. Pretty good. We got to keep getting that up. We got to finish over 500 on the year, guys. Dan is picking next week, so can't wait to see Dan's picks. And then it'll either be Hunter or myself for the final 2 weeks, and then for the next 2 weeks, and then the final 2 weeks. Got something special for you guys. Hopefully you'll like it if the plan's still on there, but we'll get into that in a few weeks. On to the predictions. Graydon picked the Finesse over the Room Dogs in a little bit of a rivalry. Easy pick there with the Finesse being 7-1, Room Dogs being injured. Quailmen over the Wise Guys in the Toilet Bowl. The Dumpster Fire over the Titans Elite on bye. The Heaters over the Bunny Bangers. The Voyagers over the Tiger Sharks in the rivalry game of the week. And he picked his own Trolls to take down the Philadelphia Smeagol's in the game of the week. Right now, these look like pretty good picks. Honestly, the only one that doesn't look like, not a lock, but the one that's going to be the closest is the game of the week. It's basically a toss-up right now. We have no idea who's going to win that one. Really excited to see that matchup, but yeah, woo! Let's get into golf. Well, a lot of stuff happened in golf. Well, not a whole lot, but E-Man shot a double birdie last week to bring himself up to 9 under par. But the player of the week last week was Rico, shooting a triple birdie to bring him to 2 over. So he's not dead in the water just yet. He's still got 6 weeks left. Rico can still get himself out of that hole, but I mean, Tebow shot a double bogey. He's sitting at 8 over now. So it's not looking good for the, well, not the reigning champ, but the reigning holder of the goal line Stein. I hope he's taking it. I hope he's sipping out of that thing like, you know, like there's no tomorrow, because you ain't going to have that shit next year. And, you know, as you can see, E-Man 9 under, I'm at 7 under, Matt and P-Man, brotherly love, sitting at 6 under par, Mandy's at 4 under, Hunter at 2 under again, Joe at 1 under, Graydon at dead even par, Nate 1 over, Rico 2 over, Dan 5 over, Tebow dead in the water. Other than that, though, guys, that's basically it. Good luck, everyone. And, yeah, good luck. Trying out some new gifts here. Hope you like it. Good luck, everyone.